section 4 starts on page 525. And what we're talking about on 525 is we're talking about the net profit rate is what we're doing. Businesses provide you with basic necessities such as food, clothing, books, newspapers, medical care, and transportation, as well as other goods and services that make your life easier. You may want to know the net profit rate of an item your business sells. The net profit rate is the net profit expressed as a percent of the selling price of the item. I think we've said that a couple times in here as far as anytime it says rate, we're dealing with a percent. The formula that we have looks like this. Net price rate equals the net profit, which is what we found yesterday, divided by the selling price. Now, when we get that answer, when we divide that, as I've asked Derek, I don't know how many different times this year, when we get that, what do we have to do in order to make it look like a percent, Derek?
Move it 2 places to the right, right?
To the right, right. Good. Okay, on page 526, number 1 says the selling price is $119.50. The cost is $44.78. The overhead expense is 40% of the selling price. All this information is the stuff that we had yesterday. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find the net profit like we did yesterday. Bless you, Shelby.
Thank you.
So the first thing that needs to take place is I need to take the $119.50 and minus 44.78 from it. What's $119.50 minus 44.78? Say it again. 74 point. 72. Okay. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2. Okay. Now I need to take the $119.50 and multiply it by 0.4. Where did I get the 0.4 from? You guys remember where I got the 0.4 from? The 40%. Right. We're trying to find our overhead. What's $119.50 times 0.4? $47.8. Now, yesterday we found the net profit by taking that number, that's 74.72, minus the 47.8. What's 74.72 minus 47.8? Yeah, it does. When I subtract them, what do I get, you guys?
0.225.
Nope. No. Can't be 0. If I'm taking $74 minus $47, I'm not going to get 0. $26.92. That process that we had just now, that is everything that we just did yesterday. So the first step was we subtracted them. We minused out the cost. Then we took and found the overhead. We minused that out. This number that Dustin just told me is the net profit. Now to find the net profit rate, we take that net profit, so this is step number 4, 26.92, and we divide it by, and I think I put on there the selling price, 119.5. When I take the 26.92 divided by 119.5, what do I get? I should get a decimal. Do not take the big one divided by the little one. It's always the top number divided by the bottom number. What do I get?
$0.23. 0.225.
2527.
Okay, and if I round it to the nearest percent after I move it over, I get 23%, right? Okay, now, just so that you guys have this idea, in the directions it asks for, what is the markup, which is what I just circled there. It'll then ask you for what's the overhead, which is that number there. It will then ask you for what's the net profit, which is that number there. And it will also ask you for what is the net profit rate. Every piece of that is your answer. Okay? Do not just give me the 23% because I will minus 3 immediately. It wants in the directions all 4 of those numbers. Okay? You got to get them anyway. Might as well list them. All right? For those of you who were gone yesterday, okay, just so that you guys know, everything that we did on steps 1, 2, and 3 there, that's what you had to do yesterday. Okay? But I'll still have the notes up there here within, by the end of the hour. Number 2. The selling price is $224.50. The cost is $102.60. The overhead expense is 35%. Find all those pieces. Now I set this up a little bit differently than the last one because we're going to find the overhead or the markup right now. What's $224.50 minus $102.60? $121.90. Good. Now I need you to take 0.35 and times it by $224.50. Yeah, I'm just writing it a little bit different, but we're still doing the same steps. This one over here, Dennis, that was step 1. Here's step 2. Okay? I'm just writing it in a different order. $78.58. Okay. So first of all, the first step was the markup. Second step that we just found was the overhead. Now to figure out the net profit, we take and we subtract those two numbers. This will give us the net profit. What's $121.90 minus $78.58? 43.32 cents. Now the last part, in order to find the net profit rate, we take that net profit at 43.32 and divide it by the original selling price, which is $224.50. Keep in mind when you divide that, that is a decimal, and it should be, but it needs to be listed as a percent, so do not forget to move the decimal 2 places over. 2 places over, not 1. 19%. It is me trusting Dennis, which I think I can. Now, all those bigger numbers that I circled up there, not the 1, 2, 3, and 4, but the 121.90, that's the markup. The 78.58, that's the overhead. The 43.32, that is the net profit, and the 19% is the net profit rate. All 4 of those are needed for your answer for number 2. Okay? Number 3 says toy train cars cost $15.95. The selling price is $29.95. The overhead is 40% of the selling price. What's the net profit rate? On this particular thing, they only want you to tell me the rate, the percent. That's the only part of this is the answer. But we still got to go through that entire process. First of all, I'm going to take the selling price and I'm going to minus out the cost. That gives me my markup. What's $29.95 minus $15.95? What do we get?
13.
Try again.
14.
14. Just I got a feeling or a sneaking suspicion that I think this has been number 3 now for the last 3 sections. I think we've dealt with this toy train business. I haven't even looked, but I'm going to venture to a willing guess that peanut butter is the next one. Oh, look at that, it is. Okay? So they've done the same problem different ways in all the last 3 sections, or 4 sections now. Okay, so that's 4.
You're going to get the same answer every time.
Well, but we're finding a different part of it this time, Dennis. We're finding the percent rather than like what was the markup, what was the overhead, stuff like that. So, all right, now the next piece. I need you to take $29.95 and times it by 40%. And the reason why I'm doing that is I'm trying to find the overhead. Anybody tell me what that number is? Can you multiply it?
1198.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Drew. Okay, so now I'm going to take that 1198 that Drew told us. I'm going to subtract that out of the 14. So what's 14 minus 11.98? $2.02. Dennis, I got a quick question for you. Does that number sound familiar? Not really? Okay, just wondering. Then the next part is that we need to figure out, we found this number to be, that would be the markup. This would be the overhead. This is the net profit. Now to get the net profit rate, we take that net profit and divide it by the original selling price. And once you do that, don't forget that it's in terms of a percent, or it needs to be. So we got to move that 2 places over. What's 2.02 divided by 29.95?
So
But you had it all this up.
it's 0.067. Well, it would be rounded up to 7.
Okay. What'd you ask?
So you add all them up?
I did not add it.
Wait,
Well-
so how'd you get 29? Oh, no, 29, correct.
The 29 was the original selling price. And then the 15.95 it said was the cost. That ended up being the markup. Then we subtracted out the overhead, the number Drew told us. This is the net profit, and then that's the original selling price. Okay? And that, it told us that in the original problem, that was the selling price. Okay, that was number 3. Number 4. Peanut butter costs $2.84. Weird. Has a selling price of $3.79, and the overhead is 24%. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to take the selling price minus the cost. Pretty sure you guys have done this problem already. What's 3.79 minus 2.84? If it was Skippy, that price would be doubled. Huh? Not 90 cents. I know that right away. 95. The only reason why I say that is right here, James, 9 minus 4 would have been a 5 there. Okay?
Is this number 5?
It's number 4. Then, I got to take 24% times the selling price, which is 3.79. So you need to take 0.24 times 3.79er. If I remember right, from just yesterday when we did this problem, I think it was 91 cents, but you guys can double check my math on that. Is it right? Oh, okay.
It's 91.
Yeah, thanks, Drew. What's 95 minus 91?
0.04.
Hey, yeah. I think that was the same as yesterday. Weird. So after I got that number, and that was what we did yesterday, by the way. Okay, that's how we accomplished, that's everything we did yesterday. Okay, now we're just going to take it one step further, and I'm going to divide that by the original selling price, which was 3.79. When you get that number, don't forget you gotta move it 2 places over. And what percent is it?
One, 1%.
1.1%?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's number 4. Okay, now, if you take a look at the chart that's on the bottom of page 526, 5 through 9, it says what's the net profit and the net profit rate. This is set up just like it was yesterday in the chart, where it's got the parentheses around the 2 middle pieces. The first thing that you'd have to do is you'd have to take 50 times 0.3 and then take 40 minus that number. That's part A. Then to get part B, you take what you got for part A and divide it by the original selling price, the second column. Okay? And then the same thing goes for the rest of them. Now, because these do take a little bit of time, I'm not going to give you all of them like I normally do, unless you guys want to.
I'll do it. So, I got an answer for the net profit rate, and I got 0.5.
For what?
The net profit rate
For 5? 0.5, move that 2 decimal places over like you always have said. And what percent would be? 50%? Absolutely.
It is 2.
Yep.